Hello, welcome to my sermon. It is May 16th of 2021. Now, Israel has launched a war against the media, as has the United States. Blowing up the headquarters of the Associated Press and Al Jazeera News headquarters is an act of war against all of the media on our planet. Meanwhile, the United States has declared war on the media by putting in brain implants, then breaking in and poisoning and murdering people like me, and erasing the history books. And if they don't Heil Hitler to the government, they kill you. That's how they do it in America. It's called murder by the government. Very common, but done clandestinely under the Patriot Act. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 17. Whoever speaks the truth gives honest evidence, but a false witness utters deceit. That is why we need media, to give honest evidence, while our governments are lying terrorists. Now, in the United States, we don't really have media except for me. I'm the only media covering brain implants. The other media, they are bought off. They're paid by the government to do sneak and peeks, so they're bought off. And they put brain implants into them, and they mind control them, and the media aren't covering the story. I'm the only media on the planet. Now, and so obviously people need to donate to me before they kill me. And also I am working on getting blood tests as well, because they've been poisoning me on a daily basis. It is time for the media to fight back. Their refusal to talk about brain implants, because many are also victimized and mind controlled. They get ransomware, bribed, and blackmailed in other ways to only say positive things about the government. John chapter 17, verse 17. Sanctify them in the truth. Your word is truth. When media in the U.S. criticize the government, they are considered enemy combatants. I even hired James Cooper to do security while I left for medicine and food on April 15th. The next day, a dating website was made with someone else's photo with my email and phone number. The hacker lured women to have sex with him who had read some of my 5 books. That is rape. Rape by our government. Now, to get into this area, there's a locked gate, 3 locked doors, as well as lots of video surveillance and alarm systems, all of which were tampered with. And they are committing voyeurism by taking video surveillance that I have to protect my area and make my films, including a camera I have over my bed, because of course I'm the only person allowed to sleep in it. I'm the only person ever allowed in this area. That's for all time. Now this helps give me an alibi when they falsely accuse me, which is critical for my security. Note that he was not given any of my keys. No one is given keys. I have a hotel on the 2nd floor, but there's a code lock system, no keys. I'm the only person allowed to have my keys. So the government has stolen my keys. They probably locked me up just to steal my keys. And he was also ordered to stay out of this area. I am the only person ever allowed in this area of my house, with the 2nd floor being my hotel. I created the Sacred Space Church sect of the Christian religion to keep anyone but me out of my 1st floor area in 2017, as that is where I do my sermons. It is the sect closest to what Jesus would want. And I mean way closer. I don't hear any other of the churches talking about brain implants or sneak and peeks. You know, they are traitors to Jesus until they do that. So people should turn to me for Jesus, turn to me for the real Christian religion. And this sect closest to what Jesus wants, I am the ordained minister of. I am the ordained minister of Sacred Space Church. You can see at www.sacredspacechurch.net. Now, when I went on April 15th to get food and medicine and came back, I noticed that my food and multivitamins had been poisoned, and I'm still sick because of it. And I'm having to save more than a year's worth of food and multivitamins as evidence and not eat them And that is majorly violating my religion, as well, of course, as a very impoverished person. That is, a shocking devastation, which I'm quite used to with the government of terrorists and Nazis. Obviously, I will likely die earlier from poison, so that makes this murder by the Athens County Sheriffs, every single one of them, because they need to arrest the others if they're not doing anything about it. That is murder by the FBI. That is murder by the NSA. That is murder by the CIA. Murder by the Department of Mental Health. Murder by the Department of Health. Murder by our own government. Leviticus chapter 24, verse 17. Whoever takes a human life shall surely be put to death. The Bible says we should put those in our government to death for murdering people like me. But let's at least lock most of them up into revenue recovery and information centers, and have their property go to their victims like me, and allow people to interrogate them for information. They can do work as well to help make up for the damages they caused, without, of course, any pay. And they can give blood and plasma as well, because they stole my blood so many times. And there's no way, even if they work 24/7, that they could pay the hundreds of thousands of trillions of dollars that they have cost. Meanwhile, last week I received 2 letters returned from the regional jail that I sued in federal court. I went to the jail and buzzed to get in to serve a copy. They opened the door. The woman at the desk said I was not allowed in that area. I tried to serve a copy of the lawsuit as is required by law, and she threw the lawsuit back at me, saying I was not allowed in that area. I then went back outside and buzzed again, and a man said to have my attorney mail it certified like me. And no, I'm not certified, but that is a violation of my HIPAA rights. I am mentally disabled by government brain implant, biggest scandal on the planet. And they said that they refused to allow me to serve a copy of that. And that's felony tampering with evidence. That's felony obstruction of justice. That's felony federal court crimes, and they need arrested every one. And the FBI needs arrested for their dereliction of duty. And when I called the post office, they said they have a digital address, and they wouldn't provide a digital address. Now, this is a massive conspiracy with scores, if not hundreds of felons in our government and healthcare and industry, like alarm systems, and they are in desperate need of prosecution. It is felony obstruction of justice, felonies of tampering with evidence, felonies of mail crimes, felony of federal court crimes. The longer the wait to prosecute them, the more crimes they cause. Now, if you want to go to heaven, you have an obligation to do something about these injustices. As Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 17. I said in my heart, God will judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time for every matter and for every work.